Okay, in this next step, again, we're going to try to run the ScanRef tool to reassociate all the reference files of the files that I brought into our new ORD work area. Again, if you're wanting to know the settings that I'm going to use here, you can go down and I have them all listed in here and the steps that I take. Okay, so I'm going to go over to ProjectWise now. And what you want to do is you want to be in a folder that's high enough to cover all the folders below it. So I imported some files in the plan sheets. I imported some of the data, and so I want to be above those two folders. So when I run the ScanRef tool, that it should be able to look in either folder for reference files. So I'm going to go ahead and if I wanted to, I could actually even go all the way up to the job number, but I do know that there's nothing in Bridge or Survey that I've imported, so this folder could be an appropriate folder as well. So I'm going to do it at the roadway level. And so to run the ScanRef, you just click on the folder, go down to ScanRef link set. We're going to hit next. We're going to uncheck the link set. We're going to hit next to this one. We want that checked. We're going to check that, and then we're going to go down and look for Open Roads Designer, and watch out, there's an Open Bridge Designer. It looks very similar, but we want the Open Roads Designer. We're going to hit next. In this box, we actually want to define out to that same location. So I'm going to go to Projects, I'm going to go to Scott, and I'm going to go down to our job number, which is the 43 project, and I'm going to select Roadway, just like the folder I selected over here. I'm going to hit next. I'm going to enable proximity search. I'm going to tell it to start searching in the subfolders, and I want it to look first in the master file location. If it doesn't find it there, look in a different subfolder. So we're going to hit next to that, and we're going to keep our search order proximity then priority, and then we're going to hit scan and let this run. And again, if you've got a lot of files, this will take a little bit longer. And so we're just going to let this play out and run through all the files. When the ScanRef is done, it'll kind of give you a summary. It searched for 174 references and 45 documents, and resolved 38. Now this is probably a little low because I did delete those border files, and I know a lot of my files were looking for those. If I would have left them in there, this number would have been higher, but then I would have had to eventually delete that border file anyway, because again, it does not work in ORD. So one thing you got to be aware of is if you get a very low number, you might have one of your settings messed up. Sometimes, especially early on when I was running this, I was getting 0 references resolved, and it was basically I was selecting the Open Roads Bridge option instead of the Open Roads Roadway option. So just be aware of that. Just you should get a decent number of references resolved. It's kind of hard to say. So the next video we're going to do is we're actually going to get into some of the specific files, and depending on what the file type is, the issues that we're going to resolve. So